So, Jaime Munguia has failed a drug test. He's been caught with synthetic testosterone in his A sample after his win over Bruno Sarachi, and it's not looking good, Brev. So he's got 10 days to request his B sample, and usually if it's a false positive, of course, then it'll be wrong, but usually the A sample will be the same as the B sample. So what's gonna happen next? I don't know, to be honest with you. We're gonna probably see some kind of defense. There'll be some form of excuse. And then, yeah, it'll be going to court. I wouldn't be surprised if Munguia gets at least a 12-month ban, maybe even 18 months. But it's good to see that VADA are finding a lot more nowadays and they are cracking down. So yeah, we'll see what they say. It's a shame, really. Obviously, he's just joined Canelo camp and he goes to avenge his loss, gets the win, and now he gets caught with PEDs. Unfortunately, that win means nothing now, and it makes it worse because I think most fighters would rather have a loss on their resume than be caught cheating. So we'll see how it all turns out. Obviously, innocent until proven guilty. I understand that he's got a sample that's dirty, which has made him guilty, but let's see how it goes first of all. I'm not going to start pointing fingers and everything else because you never know what the defense is. And Jaime Munguia has released a statement following his positive drug test saying, "Throughout my boxing career, I have undergone numerous anti-doping tests and have never tested positive. I was tested twice during this training camp and both results came back negative, which is why receiving this notification of an adverse finding has been a complete surprise to me. Several experts have explained that there are multiple ways contamination can occur, and I'm fully willing to undergo any retroactive, current or future testing to demonstrate that I have always been a clean athlete. I will not make any further comments on this matter until the process concluded with the results of the B sample." So before you all start pointing fingers and say he's dirty, I highly recommend that you just let him hear out his defense and see, because it's not fair for a fighter's reputation until they have their chance to prove that they're innocent. If he's not innocent and he can't prove it, then we can all start calling him dirty and everything else. Next up, just off the weekend, Echo Esserman outpointed Josh Taylor. What a fight. A fight at two halves. Josh Taylor started really well and then Echo come on strong. A lot of boxing fans had already actually said that, to be honest with you. It was more how far past it is Josh Taylor. Unfortunately, it's a sad end to such a good career, you know? If he was disciplined in his career, if he made the right decisions out of camp, who knows where he would have been, you know? He's one of the best fighters to come out of Britain, a former undisputed pound-for-pound champion. But I wish Josh all the best. Maybe it's not going to be a final goodbye, but he's not won a fight now in quite a few years, if you obviously think that Qatar will beat him the first time. So what's next for Echo Esserman? Well, maybe Nottingham. He obviously wants to go back and fight there. He's now beating a big name in his backyard. Who could he beat potentially at Nottingham? Well, the 147 division is pretty hot. The first thing I would think of would be a Teo Lopez. There's a few comments of it. Can you imagine Teofimo Lopez in the UK fighting in Nottingham against Echo Esserman? Regardless of the result, that is great. And what's weird is the Brits absolutely love these American superstars, whereas the Americans hate them. They absolutely hate their own. But you know, when you see the Americans come to England, we love them. They're superstars to us, you know? So anyway, in terms of a big fight and a big name that Echo deserves after some great fights, Teo Lopez could be good. Let us know what you think. Who would you like to see him fight next? So there are rumours that Canelo might be bringing in Boots Ennis as sparring to prepare for Crawford. There's been a few online sources that have said this, a few channels, and there's nothing set in stone. I did try and see if Eddie Reynoso was at his show last Saturday that I was at in San Diego, and unfortunately he wasn't there. But when I see Eddie, I will be asking straight away, is this true? Because if you think for a second, yes, they don't have the same style, but They're both very, very quick. They're both explosive. They're both switch hitters. And Canelo would learn a lot fighting Boots. And for Boots, he would learn a lot fighting Canelo. From what I know about Boots, I know people that have sparred him. They go into Bosie's gym. They do 4-minute rounds with a 30-second rest. It's relentless. No hate on Canelo, but he has slowed down. So in sparring, you need to be upping that work rate. You need to be throwing more punches. You need to be going against the mover. So it makes sense to maybe get Canelo in with Boots. Not necessarily for all the sparring. I know he's got his main sparring partners that he has for each camp, but bringing him in for a few weeks, why not? So this is some sad news. Boxer out of the UK, Georgia Cardinale, passed away. She was originally known as Georgia O'Connor. Really, really lovely girl. She was part of Team GB, national champion. She was signed with Boxer. And if you look at her last post on Instagram, it's very sad, where it was pinned on her page and it just said that she knew there was something wrong with her and she kept going to the doctors and they kept sending her away. And it turns out she had cancer. And unfortunately, she lost that fight with cancer. And yeah, it's never nice, but she was a fighter, and what made her so special was even when things got tough, she was still smiling, still fighting, still cracking on, still being positive, you know? Yeah, very, very sad day for a lot of people, and if you did know her, you would know just how great she was, and you're not saying that because of the situation, but my thoughts go out to all of her family and friends and her husband. So, Queensberry have signed amateur star 18-year-old John Joe Carrigan. He's undefeated as an amateur. He's won 5 national titles, 15 box cups, 9 national titles at 18, 15 box cups, and 2 European medals. Undefeated as an amateur, that's unheard of. When he won his last tournament in the Worlds, he won every single round. In every fight. So anyway, you've got yourself there a nice superstar in the making. So if you want to check him out, we can put his @ in the caption, but he's going to be good. Anyone that's got an amateur pedigree like that, especially turning over at 18, they're going to mould into such a good professional. So I hope he finds the right team and everything else, but I'm sure Frank and everyone have sorted him out. So Delicious Ori has retired after 1 professional fight. He had a degree, he's had many options in life, he doesn't have to be punched in the head to make money, and he's made the decision to give up boxing. And I'm sure it must be a very difficult decision. He was a star amateur on Team GB, he won medals internationally, he was really good. So he's now taken the corporate route, and he's left quite a nice message. We can put it on screen, and he just says how he's lost the fire in his belly. And I get it, I completely get it. If you've got other options in life and you're not really feeling it, how are you going to commit to something that you once was committed to? So anyway, I wish Delicious all the best with his next venture. So some more news about Boots Ennis. We don't know if he is joining the Canelo camp. We will hopefully have that as confirmation, yes or no, in the next few weeks when I speak to Eddie. But there are more news. The fight talks with Boots Ennis and Tio Lopez are back underway. So I believe it was Boxing Scene that posted it. It was an Eddie interview, but that is potentially next if Boots does not move to 154 pounds. What a fight that would be. Boots is a great fighter, but he hasn't beaten a big name. So there's so many people out there that don't respect Boots because he's not beaten a Ryan Garcia, a Tio Lopez, a Devin Haney, whatever it may be, all these guys that are moving up to welterweight. It's about time that he does. If he does move up to 154 pounds, then great. There's superstars up there too. You've got your Israel Madrimos, your Virgil Ortiz, you've got a handful of killers at 154 pounds that are ready to go. Serhii Bohachuk, great fight. So Anthony Joshua looks like he might be signing a 2-fight deal with Turki Al Sheikh Tom Ivers from Boxing Scene reported with Eddie Hearn that they are looking into that. So what two fights do you want to see? Well, obviously Tyson Fury, but is it sensible to put him in with Tyson Fury straight away when they're both coming off of losses? Probably not, just because boxing fans are fickle and they're gonna complain and blah, 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 blah. So I'm guessing comeback fight against a big name, potentially a Deontay Wilder, whilst Tyson Fury has a comeback fight against, who knows, maybe Derek Chisora for the 9th time. And then the second fight, Wembley Stadium, Fury AJ, it's on. Fingers crossed that gets across the line, because that is a super fight. Joshua could have 10 losses in a row and his fight with Fury will still be just as important for his legacy, for his career, for everything. So Moses Itauma is now ranked #1 in the world by the WBO. What does that mean? Well, Joseph Parker is still the interim champion, but the 20-year-old is now officially #1 in the heavyweight rankings. Say what you want about him, he's exciting, he's explosive, and he's not been tested because unfortunately he keeps blowing people out of there. Dempsey McKean is a good fighter. He took Hrgovic most of the way. Moses Itauma did him around. So, you know, what to expect from Moses in the future? It's gonna be fireworks. When everyone's talking about the end of the heavyweight division, no, it's just beginning. We're gonna have a young, fresh 20-year-old jumping into some massive fights very soon. What else? Daniel Dubois. He's only, I think, 27 years old. Daniel's got like another 10 years in him, and he's the IBF heavyweight champion that's about to fight Usyk for the 2nd time. So anyway, Moses Itauma, congratulations, you deserve the #1 ranking. What's next for you, may I think? Well, unfortunately, the belts are being held hostage between a few people as we go. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Maybe Moses Itauma versus Zhilei Zhang. That could be great. That could be great. Or even if you wanted to throw him to the lions and really test him, Ajit Kabayel is in form, he's dangerous, and he's waiting for his moment. Joe Parker would be a great fight, but it's never going to happen. He's waiting for his shot. You've got someone like Zhilei Zhang, or even Deontay Wilder, who's got his comeback next month. These are all big names that Moses can get through, just to keep building, just to keep picking away.